And I am back. What's going on? This is the Dealer Playbook Podcast video edition. I'm so glad you're tuning in here. My name is Michael Cirillo, and today's episode I'm really excited about because I'm sitting down with Grant Cardone. Him and I connected at NADA in Las Vegas, April 2016. It was really cool. Got to hang out in a suite a little bit, hang out and chat with Elena. But what's really cool about this episode and what you're going to hear is Grant approached the topic of hustling and 10X and being obsessed from an angle that we don't necessarily get to hear him talk about all the time. You're going to hear him talk about how balanced his life is. And I know as an entrepreneur and following the 10X rule, that might sound like an immediate conflict to what we know, but definitely stay tuned for this episode where you hear Grant talk about that and dissect it. It's going to make so much sense. And, I just want to bring it to you. I'm really excited. So let's dive into my sit down with Grant Cardone. Here we go. All right, guys, so we're sitting down now with Grant Cardone. He hasn't been on the show since episode 15. Actually, we asked for 30 minutes that time. You gave us like an hour and a half. We split it into two shows.
Well, I'm an idiot.
They are, no, you know what? They're still our highest listened to, highest downloaded episodes on DPV. So thanks so much for taking the time here.
No problem.
I think since the last episode, even on Facebook this morning, I said, if you had 15 minutes along with Uncle G, what would you ask him?
Well, I'd probably want to know about the Uncle G thing. How did the Uncle G thing stick so easy? I've been marketing and promoting for years, and I mentioned this. I mean, it's a true story. It's about me being a kid, and I'm 10 or 11 years old, maybe 12 years old, and that whole area after my dad died, I was like, man, I wish my uncle would call me. I never told anybody.
Right.
It was this private little thought, and then I told my mom one day, I said, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to help people. And it was really, I wanted to give people what I didn't have. And I said that a couple times on a stream or something, and all of a sudden it sticked. I mean, everywhere I go now, people, hey, Uncle G, what's up, man? So I do, that thing we did for 30 minutes, and I get into it, and I do want to give to people, and I like giving to people, and it's always helped me. I mean, giving, why I think the question would be beyond the Uncle G is why do you give, and when I was selling automobiles, I discovered that anytime I went on a cold streak, and I couldn't sell anyone, because I thought I was supposed to sell 2 or 3 a day, every day. So anything lower than that, I went 3 days, dude. I thought that, man, I need something's wrong, and when I would go cold, what I would do is start helping people. And I'd say, hey, Michael, any deal you have, phone calls I can make for you, TOs I can take, anything I can do with any of your customers. Right. I don't want it. And the question was always, what do you want?
Yeah.
No, I don't want anything. I just want to kill my cold streak, dude.
So, and I love that you went there because, you hear so many people say the same thing. Giving is essential to receiving. Tony Robbins. I mean, dude, even Lewis Howes, who we're both kind of connected with, same thing. Give more than you take. You say it. I mean, everybody that we know who's achieved any measure of success, whatever their definition is of that, they always talk about giving. But breaking that down to the where the rubber meets the road salesperson, and they go, dude, I got nothing to give. Like, what?
Yeah, but everybody has something to give. Everybody has something. A guy called me and said, man, I'm broke. I said, I was 25 and I was broke, financially broke, spiritually broke.
Yeah.
Intellectually, I was probably almost bankrupt. And physically, I was broke. Emotionally, I was busted. And, when I started getting my life in order, the money didn't come first. What came first was, I got a little self-esteem now. My self-esteem started increasing as I made a commitment to myself improvement and not doing a bunch of stuff that I didn't feel good about.
Right.
If you're smoking cigarettes or you're smoking weed, whatever it is, or you're whatever you do in your own little private moments that you don't tell anybody about the rest of the day, like if you think about it more than once, you're not good with them. So they're dropping your number one resource is the belief and confidence in yourself. And this guy was like, I'm broke. I'm like, but how are you emotionally? He's like, what do you mean? I said, well, that's an asset, man. Emotionally, spiritually, physically, are you paying the price right now? Are you listening to programs? Yeah, I'm doing all. Well, then you're not broke, bro. You're out of money.
Yeah.
But the things that are most valuable to me, if you took all my money away from me today, okay, which we don't want that to happen. But if that did happen, in case somebody really powerful is listening, if that did happen, hey, I'm left with I know how to persist. I know how to knock on a door cold. I know how to get up in the morning and show up. I have my discipline. Like I can never be broke. The things that are most valuable to me are not money.
Right.
That being said, on this give thing, the thing people don't tell you, the Lewis House and Tony, they don't want to talk about it because they don't want to cross the line of being politically incorrect. Sure. You need to learn how to take too. People need to learn how to make themselves first. Be selfish before you're generous. For a long period of time until you got enough bank resources and surpluses so you can actually amp up and give some more. Nobody really talks about that.
Nobody talks about that. And when even when you've talked about it, for me, even in the past in my own personal development, I was like, what's this guy talking about? Be selfish, right? Because you hear the give more than you take first, and that's kind of the predominant message.
I think that's just a popular message. I think it's it's pulling heartstrings on people. It's what Ted Cruz would do. He would be like the pause, all the stuff. Look down, reflective. That's just not who I am. It works for a lot of guys, but it wouldn't work for me when I put my head on my pillow at night. See, I know that you can't, if you just go out and give, if you're going to be Mother Teresa, that's good, if that's your deal. But I mean, on this planet, you live on a planet that financially you're getting banged on every day. So you got to learn how to take. You got to learn how, when you give something to a customer, you give exceptional customer service to a customer, you should be paid for that. You should be paid, maybe not in money. Maybe you're in a store where you don't profit because you make more money on the transaction, but why don't you get referrals for that?
Right.
Why don't you get him some wheels, man? The better I feel, the more I want to spend.
Yeah.
I come to this hotel, is it come or came? I don't know. Here we are in the Steve Wynn Hotel, right? I'm here at this place, and we came for this Alex Becker event. Happened to be on the same weekend of NADA. We weren't coming to NADA. Did the Becker event. So we started stacking other stuff where I could profit. Because, I mean, look, the fact is, the person that gives ends up with the biggest.
Yeah. It pays out over the long haul.
Yeah, I mean, I get something when I give something. It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
People wouldn't give if it didn't do something for them.
And I think that's the piece that people miss. That personal feeling good projects you to another level where you can perform.
And them and me, but I should be paid for that. So here I am in this hotel. They take care of me. They give me a nice room, The people are unbelievably nice here compared to other hotels maybe.
Sure.
But when I go down...
I'm staying with my in-laws. So.
Yeah. I hope they're nice to you. Yeah. So, but I go to the spa.
Yeah.
They said, hey, it's $40 to go work out here. So the point is, while they're willing to give exceptional service, while they're willing to, Steve Wynn knows, hey man, there comes a time when I got to take.
Yeah.
It can't just be give one way.
How do you know when that time is? Right, because I know a lot of people are like, wait, I need to see what's set up, like written on these stone tablets, and I need to see like line item 12 that says now you can take. After
Yeah. No, I would just.
Is it intuition? Is it gut? Is it?
I mean, I would tell a customer straight up, look, I'm going to give you the best service, so you pay. I'm here to make a living. I'm here. I got 2 kids. I put them on my phone. Here's Sabrina. Here's Scarlett. Here's my beautiful wife. I'm taking care of them, and the way I'm going to take care of them is by taking care of you. Everybody knows what's going on. We're doing a free thing on CNBC, and it's an ad, right? It's an ad which is bombing the radio right now for our university. And I say, look, hey, I want to give you this thing. We're going to give you 11 months free or a year free, whatever it is. I'm going to give you a trial, whatever the offer. Everybody knows listening. Okay, well, when will you get money from me? The whole planet knows there's no free.
Yeah.
And so I would just say to you, look, go to work with the intention of making money, not working. Don't go to work. I used to argue with Tom Stuker about this all the time. I said, I don't want to go to work. Dude, I want to go to work to prosper. I want to make some bank.
Yeah. I'm
going to make money today. I want to make money. I want to come home with a paycheck. And my spouse and my kids should be on the same page with me. My kids already talk about money at 4 years old. They think money's important.
Yeah.
And the last time I checked, it was.
It's funny because I think you're the only person I know that's talking about this topic from that angle.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Nobody talks about it. Nobody breaches, hey, get money. Your parents didn't tell you, don't be broke.
Yeah.
They didn't say, don't just get by. My mom used to tell me, hey, be grateful for where you are.
Right.
And there's all kind of iterations of that. I love you just the way you are. You know, I had these big dreams. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do this and this. Oh yeah, that's good, Grant. But just remember, we love you the way you are. My sister still does that today. Something happens. I got this big deal. I'm like, oh, my sister, I got this big deal. That's great, Grant. But just remember, I love you no matter what. I'm like, what is that, man? Why'd you have to piss on me right there at the end? Right? Because I want those things, you know, and nobody on TV is saying, maybe Trump's the only one that says, I like doing deals. I like making money. Okay. I've been greedy for my entire career, but people can't have that concept because they've been programmed so heavily that greed is bad, you know? And what I would like to reprogram people, if I ever make a contribution worthy of my length of time on this planet, it would be, hey, that guy taught me to take care of myself financially. That it's not bad for me to take care of myself. Because if I can't take care of me, how can I actually help anybody else?
Yeah. And that's the context of be selfish.
Yeah, be selfish, but, you know, be willing to serve everybody. I mean, if you want to make $1 billion, serve 1 billion people. If you want to make $1 million, serve 1 million people.
So on Facebook, like I said, I put out the message, hey, if you had 15 minutes along with G in a room. I mean, some people were, you know, they asked the same questions. What
was the dumbest thing? What was the dumbest thing somebody asked? That's the stuff I like.
Why are we alone in a room? And I was like, what's going on?
You need to handle that, Val.
Yeah.
See, even that question, like where your questions come from.
Yeah.
You know, like dumb stuff that pops up in your head. I mean, it really holds people back.
Yeah. Well,
I know it's comedy, and the guy that asked that think it's funny and everything, but the reality is, dude, like you got this much time. I mean, you might really want to tap into something valuable.
Yeah.
You know, you might want to like, hey, what? Look, we had dinner with some people last night, and I sat down. I'm like, okay, let's just do a little bit of business, and then we'll have fun. Right?
Yeah.
But I want to get something out of the deal. I'm working a deal with a group here in Vegas. Jared was working with the guy. He said he wanted to do this thing in December. The thing in December I said, Jared, go put a nail in that freaking coffin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you do it?
What happened was the guy started squirming.
Yeah.
So I called the guy up on the phone, said, I'm coming to Vegas. He's like, let's hang out, let's have a cigar. I said, before we hang out, before we have a cigar, I need to know what your doubt and your reservations are on this thing you said you wanted to do with me.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have any doubts. I said, dude, if you didn't have any doubts, it'd be on my calendar. And I would have money in my bank.
Yeah.
So you have doubts. Well, maybe a little bit. Good, let's talk about it. Okay? And this is what I'm thinking in my mind privately amongst you and the people watching. Dude, if he don't freaking do this deal with me, I ain't having cigars with him. I have that much time. Okay? Not just in a day, a month, a week, or my lifetime, right?
Yeah.
I got that much time. I have to figure out how do I manage. What am I worth? You know, the people that don't want to do business with me, we were in a deal yesterday. Okay, I pitched the guy for a little while. It's just going all around it. Okay,
sure.
We get in the car. I said, "Don't even bother. Don't even pitch the deal again. He's the wrong guy for us. The wrong guy. Don't waste any more time on it. I don't want to deal with him. I don't want to do business with him." The benefit of that is the questions you guys don't ask. Man, you want a bandwidth so big that you can actually tell people, "Hey, I don't want to do business with you."
I was just gonna say, when did you get to that point where you're like? You know, because I mean, even nowadays with startups, with salespeople who want to do the 6-figure thing, they're not in a position where they can say, "Wait, I don't want to do business with that person."
Yeah.
So is that the trait going wide, going deep, going?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big mistake that I made. It's a huge. You need to get a shot of what I'm looking at the end of this because when I'm talking to you, I say, "Man, that's beautiful." So, because what I'm looking at is wide. Right. Yeah. See, when I started my business, I operated down that street right there. I was working just with car dealers right down that thing. And so I had to come to every NADA. I had to, you know, do stuff that I didn't want to do, which is fine, man. You got to do what you got to do, right? But, you know, NADA I'll just say it right now. They're not nice people at NADA. They're not nice people because they don't give more than they take.
Yeah, sure.
They take more than they give.
Right.
And you can see it in their speaker rosters. You can see their conventions. They're paying Jeff Foxworthy probably $250,000. Who's the other guy they're paying? Peyton Manning. Okay. Well, I don't know what those two guys can teach anybody about selling automobiles. But the point is, like, people come here to learn stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But the draw card, they need a draw card. I'm getting off topic here.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
See, they went wide. Even they went wide.
Yeah.
They didn't go deep with me. They said, oh, we got to give Jeff Foxworthy, he's going to do redneck jokes. It's going to bring an audience. People are going to be so happy.
Yeah.
Okay? But they won't give me anything to exchange value. Now, I'm saying that to say this. Look, when you're dependent upon a customer that you don't want to do business with, it's only an indication, not of the customer. I'm not really bad-mouthing NADA right now.
Yeah.
One day, NADA is going to call me and say, "Did we want to pay you what we paid Foxworthy?" And I'd be like, you know what? Can you read between the lines? I'm not available. No, I'm just kidding, Red. Just kidding. But wouldn't you like to be in that position? I never say that to anybody, but everybody privately in their mind says this.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, in the beginning, dude, you do whatever you got to do. You do whatever you have to do.
How do you go wide in the beginning? Like somebody that's just starting
it's hard,
out,
bro.
I mean,
that question's for you. It's not for your audience. You're trying to figure out how to go wide.
Well, no, you and I have already had the conversation about going wide. It was actually, what was it, like maybe 2.5 months ago? We talked on Skype.
Yeah.
You were cruising on some popcorn, and we talked about it. And you know what? And that was super beneficial. It was a light switch for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, a salesperson just starting out.
Yeah.
A new business owner just starting out. The concept of going wide, what does that even,
It means that every person needs to be a target for your product or your service.
Is that the referral? We talk a lot about referrals in the business, doing the bird dogs and all those sorts of things. Is that still limited thinking?
I mean, there's my breakfast. Whatever. You just need to think bigger like this. Like if you're thinking automotive sales, well, then why don't you also join network marketing? See, nobody told me this. They said, you sell cars, you're there at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock at night. I was there at 7 o'clock in the morning until freaking 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
And nobody said, man, join a network marketing group. I'm like, I don't want to do network marketing. Bro, everybody there drives
all the negative stigmas
whatever,
that go
right?
along with it. Yeah.
And I did join some network marketing groups, but I didn't join it for the product or the opportunity. I joined it later for the people, man. The people are unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the car dealership that I worked in, the people were not incredible. I mean, if they were in a room right now, I'd say Jimmy. There's Jimmy. Jimmy's 100 pounds overweight. Jose, satisfied with everything. Gene, smoking weed all day long. I know because I used to smoke it with him. Okay. Probably couldn't read. Probably totally illiterate. Bobby. I don't know whatever his name was. He was kind of a country club manager.
Yeah.
Wanted to play golf twice a week. Thought that was a big deal that he one day would have his house paid off.
Yeah.
And then there was the owner, and he was as bad as the rest of them.
Yeah.
So it was average. Everybody was like in that thing, right? That hammock. See, this is the middle class.
It's like they're not connected enough. Where
there's nothing, dude. You know what they read? They read the newspaper.
Yeah.
They read the what happened today.
Yeah.
I don't need what happened today. What happened today is already the past.
Yeah.
I want to know, what am I doing tomorrow? How am I going to be better tomorrow? Like, that's the people I wanted to be around. So that's what I mean by going wide. Because when you start going wide, let's say you sell automobiles. Man, why don't you call up the guy that runs the bank in your town or the most successful 3 or 4 entrepreneurs? Call them up and say, look, I want to be successful. I want to be super successful, and I picked 4 or 5 people in this town that can help me, and you're one of them. And I'd like to get 15 minutes with you every month, once a month. 15 minutes, that's all I want. And for that 15 minutes, by the way, I don't want you to mentor me. For that 15 minutes, you tell me what you need done, worth 100 times that.
Yeah.
That's how valuable your time with me would be. See, that's what I mean by going wide, because then you get connected. That old saying about it's not what you know, it's who you know. That's what I didn't know. I didn't know how valuable that was. So while I was trying to make $5,000 in a month, or then I got to make $10,000 a month, I should have been trying to make $10,000 of connections every month. Because it's who you know, man.
That's a bit of shift.
You look at TV, and you can see it's who you know.
Yeah.
Because I'm more talented than 90% of the people on TV. I watch that kind of shit. I can do that. I'm better than George.
Should we be selling the slap chop?
No, I don't mean that. I mean, like, I should be a movie star or something.
Yeah, you should.
Nah, just kidding.
There's probably people out there thinking you should be going for a POTUS right now.
Yeah, well, that never happened. But
it's
interesting the kind of stuff that people freak out on, though. Okay, because I was telling this story on one of our shows about service, right? And I was like, look, we're here shooting a bunch of customer service content right now, And I was telling this story about when you get on an elevator in a hotel. Okay, we're on the 59th floor, and I go from 0 to 59. I don't really want anybody stopping me. You know, if you get on and you're like at 27, I'm like, dude, please let me go to 59, and then you go back down.
Yeah.
Much less a housekeeper.
Yeah.
Okay, the housekeeper that's going to be here all day long, or room service all day long. It won't happen in this hotel, but I get on, I'm going to 59, and she stops at 6. I said, this is wrong. Hotels should not do that. Okay, the people at the Holiday Inn or Ramada or wherever they are, right? They should not stop me. And a guy on Facebook says, "What? I mean, dude, the guy went off. His name's Danny. I love Danny because Danny's an idiot, and Danny reminds me not to be an idiot." Okay, and Danny's like, "You're an ass." Actually, he said he called me the D word that ends with a K. Dick. Yeah, and so he's like, "You're a that's ridiculous. Who do you think you are? Why you think you're so freaking important that you can't stop and let the lady off?" And I'm like, bro, you don't value time.
Yeah.
Okay? And by the way, this is my freaking life. Okay, I get to say whatever I want. But notice how people get all freaking riled up that I would even say, why is the housekeeper stopping me? She's going to be here all day. I want to go straight to 59 and get off. I'm the one that's paying. She's getting paid.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's how people need. Like, if you can start seeing those things, and those things start becoming like, oh wow, why am I doing that? That's why there's an Uber.
Yeah.
So because somebody said, hey, these taxis take forever to get here.
Somebody thought bigger.
Yeah, and they went wide.
Yeah.
Right, and they solved problems for a lot of people, not just an end consumer that needed a ride to the airport.
Cool. So, for those of you that ask questions on Facebook, everything we've talked about pretty much summed up every single one of those questions.
Oh, did it really?
Seriously, man. I mean, people were saying, if there was only one thing you could do to launch your career, or, what's the one, well, I mean, some people were like, is Grant hiring? And
always hiring. We're always hiring.
I was going to say it, but I wanted to.
I never run out of money, dude. I run out of good people. I'll never run out of money. People do not cost money. So if you work at a place where they're like, oh, we don't hire because people don't cost money. You might not work out. If you don't work out, we won't keep paying you.
Yeah.
But we got guys making, what's our top guy going to make this year?
450, 500.
400 grand, okay. There are people at Dealer Socket, Dealer Track, V Auto. You got people executives that don't make as much money as my sales guys. Yeah. Because we're not a monster. We're not a public company. No.
Yeah. And like I was going to say, I mean, you've taught your people to go wide.
Yeah.
You've taught them to go wide, think bigger. Yeah. And that's pretty much the concept of think bigger, I think, is what sums up all of the questions that I got from the audience. I want to kind of shift gears because I know you've been plugging this new book that you're writing. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to look for too many details other than, is it a follow-up to 10X?
Well, I mean, everything's a follow-up, right? I mean, everything's actually probably not a follow-up. Everything is continuation of something that's, anybody that writes a book or writes or speaks, they're really talking about their own life, most of the time. Unless they get on automatic, which some guys are. They get on automatic and they just start doing the same thing they did. I did that. I know exactly. For 10 years, I did the same presentation over and over. But my books are basically, I'm trying to discover problems, right? This book is basically giving people permission. When I finish the 10X rule, what happens is, there's got to be a deadline on that book, right? So hey, the book's got to be finished. It doesn't matter whether I was finished or not.
Sure.
The book's got to be finished.
Yeah.
So we cap it. Like I obsessed. I was at 80,000 words. They called me and said, dude, we got to cut it back. It's just too much. They cut it back. They sent it back to me. They said, they said, we need this input. They cut it back from 80,000 to 60. Okay.
So it's a lot of content.
They cut 1/4 of the book out. Hey, but we do need these little stories in here. I went back to 80 again. New content, new information. So the point is, if you tapped the book I'm writing now, or the 10X rule when I finished it, and then came back and asked me questions tomorrow, I have new material.
Yeah.
Jared works with me every day. We do shows every week, and he'll be like, dude, I at least once or twice a month. I never heard you say that before, because I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm looking like, okay. So Obsessed came out of the 10X rule because so many people were asking me about, dude, but when's it too much? How do I handle my wife? My wife is freaking out. She thinks I'm a maniac.
probably a lot of balance, work-life balance.
How do you do balance, man?
Yeah.
How do you balance your life? How do you get it all done?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh, wow. And I started saying, why is this question being asked?
Yeah.
And
so people take it too far. Like, do they go, he's talking obsessed. If I'm not as obsessed as he is, then I'm not going to achieve the same outcome. Do you think so?
You're not.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
If I don't play I cannot be a billionaire if I don't play the way billionaires do. So with a billionaire would do what? First of all, he's going to be leveraged on Wall Street. Nobody's making $1 billion without having the assistance of Wall Street. You can't tell me of a company that's done that.
Yeah.
So, like if I'm working out my $1 billion formula, okay, I'm gonna study the billionaires. The billionaires of today, the unicorns, are all leveraging Wall Street. So now I got to go play. I got to go play that game.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're not going to get obsessed with spending the money to get in the room with Goldman Sachs or J.P. Morgan, okay, these guys don't want little money. They want monster money. Sure. They don't even do deals like, hey, the deal's $40 million. They're like, bro, we don't start anything with $40 million. So the think is enormous. So like if you guys are not going to get as obsessed as I am, first of all, I spend more time with my family than anybody watching this. So people I guarantee I sleep more than anybody that watches this. So see the perception is, if he's obsessed, he doesn't sleep. I sleep 8 hours a day, every day. I take naps sometimes. But man, that's 16 hours. If we can jam something in 20 minutes, and I say no the whole way, Jared, you should interview Jared about being with Grant sometime.
That might have to be a follow-up.
Dude, that'd be a good one.
Be a follow-up.
Dude, I bitch all the time. Do I bitch all the time? He the other night, he's like, hey man, I got reservations for dinners at Saturday night, Sunday night, whatever night. I'm like, yeah.
Got to do a dealer playbook interview.
Dude, why'd you even ask me about the dinner a couple of weeks ago? Because a couple of weeks ago, he's like, should I schedule dinners every night? I'm like, dude, I don't want to do dinners every night because that's how I act, right? Yeah. Because I don't want to do stuff either. And then he books it, and I'm like, good. You should never ask me, dude. Just do the deal.
Yeah.
And
it's human nature. I don't want to. I don't know. Maybe this is more comfortable than having to go work. But the differentiator is that you do it.
Yeah. I mean,
right?
And I'm not 27 and broke anymore either. So when I was broke, that was one thing. But it's harder. It's harder to hustle.
Yeah.
When you have a cushion, it's harder to hustle. I'm telling you. No, nobody understands this, but it is more difficult to get up every morning because you have all these justifiers. You got a bank account saying, "Stay in bed, dude. It's good. It's all good."
Yeah.
But I got a heart. I didn't want to do this interview with you. I don't want to do that shit.
I know.
But you know what?
I didn't want to do the interview with me.
but you know what? I'm like, when I say yes, I'm always better.
Yeah.
Until it starts bleeding me, until there's no payoff.
Yeah.
I don't know what the payoff is here, but.
Me either. That's the uncomfortable smile laugh. No, you know what? Totally makes sense. So there's kind of three things I'm gathering from this. Think bigger.
You do a good interview, though. I got to tell you, you're good on this.
Am I good?
No, dude, you're awesome, dude.
Right on. Appreciate
your TV would buy you in a second.
Think so?
No doubt.
After I lose a couple of the Danny DeVitos
They like that. They like that.
The Seth Rogen-esque. Three things I'm gathering here. Think bigger.
Yeah, bigger.
People aren't thinking big enough.
Way bigger.
I say this to my team. I'm like, once you've thought big, think bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because I don't think people know how to think that one layer bigger than where they're at.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Second thing is go wide. And I like what you said, especially as it relates to, say, even car sales or whatever type of sales. Start building relationships with the community in ways that you're not doing it right now. I think too many people are sitting there going, oh, man, my dealer principal, my GM is saying I can't do this, and this, and they put themselves in these boxes. Go big, and then the third thing is
who's going to tell you not to go to church, man? Who's going to tell you not to be part of the Boy Scouts?
Yeah,
you're just making stuff up now. I mean, And by the way, when's the last time you didn't break some of the rules?
Yeah.
Okay. So
good point. Well, they're breaking rules right now just by sitting at their desk doing nothing.
Watching this.
Sorry. Cool, man. You know
the third thing was what?
The third thing was get obsessed.
Yeah.
And understand that there is some measure of balance inside of obsession.
Well, get obsessed with whatever you're doing. I mean, you know, my wife's here.
You kind of hack it together, don't you? I mean,
yeah,
like,
totally.
I live in British Columbia, Canada. I drove 20 some odd hours here with my 3 kids and my wife so that they could see their grandparents.
Wow.
You hack it together.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I don't know. 45 minutes into the drive, I was like,
what?
So someone's going to die on this trip.
Right.
But, you know, you do. It's a day-to-day. You kind of hack it together.
Yeah.
You end up, my level of obsession in building my business or building the show hasn't been diminished because I put family and put balance into there. You know, family is I'm obsessed about family. So it all fits into the mix. And I don't think I think people.
But it doesn't mean it's all fun, you know. How old are your kids?
6, 5, 6.5, 5. And
when are we going to get there?
Yeah, are we there yet?
We left 12 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have 15.5 hours worth of driving today.
My 6-year-old, we got in the car the other day. We leave my place. We do a turn, the first turn.
Yeah.
When are we going to be there? God, we've been in this car forever. I'm like, dude, I love that attitude.
Now you got a plane, and they're like, when are we going to take off?
Oh yeah. They're awesome. So you know, but you know, all of it comes with baggage. Right? Yep. It all comes with stuff, and
it's life.
It's life, man.
So dominate life.
Own it, bro. Just be obsessed with it. Have fun with it. Have a blast with it. Kill it and start it again.
Dude, appreciate your time.
And that was Grant Cardone. What'd you guys think? Pretty cool, right? It was a really fun episode to sit down with him in person, ask him some of those questions, and like I said in the pre-show, you know, have him approach the topic of obsession and hustling from a different angle. Well, if you guys enjoyed this episode, I'd definitely love if you subscribe to my YouTube channel here, The Dealer Playbook, and of course, a thumbs up is just as good. And even better yet, comments. Leave me your questions or comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys and connect with you, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that Grant joins in on the comments. So definitely want to check that out. Until next time, guys, keep the playbook open and dominate.